Transform consciousness and abandon wisdom, entering the hall of life. Siafeng. Translation edited by Chinyo. Entering the vast garden of Buddhism, the myriad of terms and concepts can leave one overwhelmed. To the average person, it seems profound and incomprehensible. To the enlightened, it feels tedious and convoluted. To philosophers, it becomes a playground for manipulating concepts, while for scholars of religion, it provides rich material for writing papers as they wander through a maze of ideas. Buddhism speaks of transforming consciousness into wisdom. Consciousness refers to the 8 types: eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, mind consciousness, manas consciousness, and alaya consciousness. Wisdom includes 4 types: the wisdom of accomplishing deeds, the wisdom of subtle observation, the wisdom of equality, and the wisdom of the great perfect mirror. In Buddhism, the 8 types of consciousness include sensory and mental awareness, representing different levels of perception, while wisdom refers to a higher level of understanding and insight. If we focus on explaining these terms in detail, it would be like trying to catch the moon in water or pick flowers from a mirror. Laozi advises us to abandon sagacity and discard intelligence, and Buddhism calls for transforming consciousness into wisdom, which can be understood as changing one's mindset or perspective, and letting go of excessive intellectualization in favor of spiritual awareness. I emphasize transforming consciousness, abandoning wisdom, and entering the hall of life. The vast texts of Buddhism ultimately revolve around just 2 words: transformation of consciousness. Simply put, it means changing one's mindset; more elaborately, it means shifting awareness; and profoundly, it means sublimating the non-material structure of human life to that of a celestial being. A person's life is filled with worries. Why? Because they do not have a correct understanding of life and life. The only way to free oneself from these worries is to transform one's consciousness. For example, viewing an enemy as a benefactor, instead of harboring resentment, consider that even those we perceive as enemies can teach us important lessons and offer opportunities for personal growth. Seeing death as another leap in life, or recognizing marriage as a primary source of distress are all examples of transforming consciousness. Buddhism identifies 5 afflictions, known as the 5 poisons: greed, anger, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy. Greed is indulging in desires, anger is resentment and fury, ignorance is obsession with certain matters or teachings, arrogance is pride, disrespect, vanity, and stubbornness, and jealousy is doubting the wise, scorning science, doubting everything, and envying those better than oneself. In reality, the causes of suffering extend far beyond these 5 poisons. There are at least dozens more. Concepts like bringing glory to the nation, saving humanity, serving the people wholeheartedly, dedicating oneself until death, becoming a celestial being or Buddha, maintaining peace, achieving supreme enlightenment, implementing democracy to overthrow tyranny, contributing to the party, bringing honor to one's ancestors, spreading religious teachings, and ushering in the era of Lifechanyuan all lead to suffering. Even compassion and sympathy can cause distress. I advocate for unconventional thinking. From this perspective, the poisons mentioned earlier can be seen as joys. For instance, greedily absorbing knowledge brings joy, and the desire to write extensively lifts one's spirits. Ignorance, being enchanted by a lover's soul or tenderness brings delight, and delving into the mysteries of life provides a sense of soaring through time and space. Ideas like ushering in the era of Lifechanyuan can make one feel extraordinary and free. By shifting perspectives, what was once considered poison transforms into nectar, and joy becomes a fleeting intoxication of the mind, like the hemlock wine that numbs consciousness for a moment. In my view, the best way to alleviate suffering is to treat life as a game. Life is but a dream, don't cling to anything. Treat everything as a game. If it's fun, play it; if it's not, just walk away. No one is responsible for me, and I am responsible for no one. Treating life as a game doesn't mean disregarding its importance, but rather embracing flexibility and detaching from rigid expectations. Buddhism teaches us to transform suffering into wisdom. However, there is an issue here: wisdom is neutral. It doesn't necessarily embody truth, goodness, or beauty, nor does it always lead to positive outcomes. How about Hitler's wisdom? Or the wisdom of corrupt officials, mob leaders, and cult leaders? Jesus warned us to be cautious of those with wisdom, and Laozi's advice to abandon sagacity and discard intelligence was not without reason. The three realms exist solely in the mind, all dharmas are mere consciousness. All consciousness must serve the self. When consciousness, understanding and awareness, binds one's true nature, shackles the spirit, and brings suffering, one must engage in unconventional thinking and shift 180 degrees. For example, if the belief to be unfilial is to have no descendants troubles you, realize that this world is not a good place, and rather than having children to suffer here, it's better to give birth in paradise. If your affair causes distress because it has been exposed, think, I love what I love, I enjoy what I enjoy, I express my humanity without regret. An affair shows I have feelings, without feelings, heaven shows no sympathy. In 100 years, we'll all be buried under grass, life leaves no regrets. Wisdom is a product of human thought, not the source of spirituality. Greed can cloud wisdom, and too much wisdom can confuse the heart. The more wisdom one has, the more lost they become. It is better to abandon wisdom and revere spirituality. Spirituality is the gateway to life, and the non-material structure of life is its inner sanctum. Transform consciousness, abandon wisdom, awaken spiritual awareness, and you can enter the hall. You will then be free to roam the infinite mysteries of life and experience the vast expanse of existence. Are you still troubled?